Hey there, bakers. Oil and sugar turn silky, eggs whip it lush, and cocoa and flour fold in slow. Then a splash of boiling espresso blooms the chocolate. Into the pan, out of the oven, and finished with thick, cloud-like whipped ganache. Welcome to the Mountaintop Kitchen. I'm Stone, the Mountaintop Baker, if you haven't met me already. Today we're working on a chocolate celebration birthday cake that I'm making for somebody very special. Hi, Sandra. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start by mixing our sugar, granulated sugar, and oil together. Now, this recipe comes modified from my grandmother, who we always made a chocolate cake for my mother's birthday. I've modified it a little bit to update it here and there. She didn't add coffee. You can add water. We're going to add coffee this time. And she also used shortening. We're going to use oil. Okay, so let's go ahead and mix this just until well blended. Okay, and let's give that a little bit of a scrape down to get some of that sugar off the side of the bowl. And now we're going to add in 2 large eggs. All of the measurements will be listed here on screen or in the description box below if you're watching on YouTube. If you do manage to get a little bit of shell in there, just fish it out. Let's go ahead and continue mixing until our 2 eggs are incorporated. Now, my maternal grandmother's side of the family, they are Dutch, and they made their journey across the ocean way back and ended up in North Carolina. They split off into 3 groups. One group went off to New York area, another group went to Tennessee from North Carolina, and another group went further west. My family's group was the branch that ended up in Tennessee, and I learned to make my chocolate cake, or to bake in general, from my grandmother. Now, it was my great-grandmother that had moved to Tennessee, her parents, and then my great-grandmother, of course, their daughter is my grandmother. And here's a picture right here. Okay, now that we have our wet ingredients together, we're going to go ahead and mix together our dry ingredients. But before we go any further, you're going to want to grease and flour a 9 by 13 inch baking tin. This is what we have right here. Now, we used a baking spray, but you can use a baking spray or some butter and flour, however you want to do that. We have some flour, some cocoa powder, and some baking soda, and some fine salt. Let's just whisk this together to get it nicely mixed up until you see like a uniform color. Whisk, 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 whisk. Go ahead and in the comments below, let me know what's your favorite flavor of cake. I'd be very interested. Maybe I could bake that one of my future videos. Okay, that's good enough. So now what we're going to do is we're going to alternate our dry ingredients with our buttermilk, ending with dry ingredients. So I'm going to put about 1/3 in right now. That'll be about 1/3. This doesn't have to be precise. And go ahead and mix that in. Now remember, once you start to put your dry ingredients in, your flour, you want to not overmix, because we don't want to have a tough cake, we want to have a tender cake, and we don't want to overdevelop the gluten. Okay, it's smelling so chocolatey and good already now. I'm going to scrape down the bowl a little bit. Mix that a little bit more, just until the dry is incorporated. Okay, that's good enough. I'm going to go ahead and put in my buttermilk, about half. Mix that in. Give another little scrape down around the edge of the bowl and down on the bottom of the bowl in case there's anything hanging around down there. Okay, and I'm going to put in another 1/3 of my dry ingredients. Okay, and leave 1/3 there. Go ahead and mix again. just until you see no more dry streaks. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and scrape. You always got to scrape down because you don't want to have something lingering on the side of your bowl that gets mixed in at the last minute, and then you don't have a nice consistent batter. Okay, the rest of our buttermilk goes in. Get all that in there. Mix again. And the remaining third of our dry ingredients. All that goes in, and let's keep mixing. Now, my grandmother was born in Tennessee, out in the sticks, as they say, and she learned to bake from her mother, who was Ella Kuykendalls, of Dutch heritage. Now, she learned how to cook and bake from her, and I learned how to bake from my grandmother. Her name was Connie. After she moved to Michigan, where I was born. Okay, so now we're going to just do one more scrape down because we do have some of our dry ingredients. We do have some of our dry ingredients lingering around on the bowl here. And one final mix for the dry ingredients anyway. That's good enough. And now I'm going to take my 1 cup of coffee and I'm going to pop it in the microwave until it's just about boiling, and then we're going to get that mixed in. Okay, we now have our boiling hot coffee. If you don't want to use coffee, coffee helps to bring out that chocolate flavor. I promise you won't taste it. It won't be that strong. But if you just are totally against using coffee, just use water, boiling water. So let's go ahead and get this in. And let's go ahead and mix that in with our whisk. This is going to be a lovely chocolate cake. We're going to put a whipped ganache frosting on top. And of course, we're going to decorate it because it's a birthday cake. You have to have decorations for a birthday cake. All right. Let's move this over here. Bring our 9x13 pan to center stage, if you will. And let's go ahead. Now this is greased and with spray, with baking spray. So do make sure that you generously use baking spray or butter and flour your pan so that you can get everything out easily later. Okay. One last little spin around the bowl there. And let's go ahead and pour this in. Now we have our oven is preheating to 350. We're going to bake this for about 40 minutes until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out nice and clean. Okay. Our oven is ready, so let's go pop this in. Okay, so let's get on with making our whipped chocolate ganache frosting. We have some scalding hot cream here that we're going to pour over our, this is 51% cocoa. You can go up to about 70%, that's fine, any of those ranges. But we're going to pour this on top right now. And you want to heat this up, but not until boiling, just until scalded. When you see it start to steam. Okay, we're going to let this set here for about 2 minutes. We'll be back. And we're going to go ahead and mix in our other ingredients. Okay, now that our hot cream has had time to melt our chocolate, we're going to start in the center of the bowl and just mix out towards the outer edge of the bowl until we have a nice, smooth ganache that looks oh so shiny and smells so good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our other ingredients. We're going to start with our butter, so we're just going to plop that in. We have a little bit of fine sea salt, and we're also going to add in a splash of vanilla extract. Now, I usually just eyeball my vanilla extract. I rarely do measure it out. So once we get those extra ingredients in, we're just going to mix this up nicely until the butter melts. And we have a nice shiny ganache again. Okay, so now that that is all mixed up and looking really good and smelling fine, we're going to put in the rest of our whipping cream, and it's cold, and we're just going to mix that in until it's also nicely incorporated in the chocolate ganache. So I want to get it all in there and just mix it until it's all incorporated and nice and smooth again and smelling oh so good. Okay, so now that we have that all mixed up, the next thing that we need to do is we need to get some plastic wrap and cover our ganache because we're gonna put this in the fridge. So you wanna push it down into the bowl so that the plastic wrap is actually touching the top of your ganache because you don't want a film to form while it's in the fridge. And we're gonna stick this in the fridge, for about 30 to 60 minutes. And halfway through, we're just gonna give it a little mix, and then we'll pull it out at the end of that 30 or 60 minutes, whatever you decide. Just fit it into your schedule. So into the fridge it goes right now. Okay, so all that's left to do is we've just taken this out of the fridge. I'm going to remove the plastic that we had covering the top. Now I did halfway through, I had it in the fridge for about 45 minutes, and about halfway through I went in and stirred it a little bit. So now we're just going to whip it. We need to be careful about whipping though. We don't want to over whip. If we over whip, we end up with a very grainy frosting, and we don't want that. So we're just going to whip until we get soft peaks for about 1 minute, no more. And there we go. That's what we want. So we're going to go ahead and get this cake that's cooled down over here. We're going to get it frosted now. Okay, so let's get this baby frosted. I have a little cookie scoop here. I'm just going to get my frosting and plop it on, just like that. So now that I have the frosting there, I'm just going to move it around with a spoon, just to spread it out. I don't want to lift up any of that underlying cake, so I'm going to do one pass where I get most of it down. And once I have most of the frosting on, I'm just going to make little swirls, just to make it look pretty. And then to top it all off, I have some of these gorgeous sprinkles. So these are very festive looking. This is a birthday cake. It's a celebration cake for a birthday that I've made here, and I want it to look festive. So let's go ahead and put some of these sprinkles on. I really like these brightly colored sprinkles. They look so great against chocolate. The corners. And there you go. Isn't that lovely? That is absolutely lovely. So we're going to stick this in the fridge to get the frosting firm up a little bit. We'll give it a cut and we'll give it a taste. We are ready to try this cake. Now, as you can see, somebody, I won't mention who over there, already snuck a piece off camera when I wasn't looking, but I will forgive them because it is a delicious cake and it's very tempting. So I have my milk ready. I have my cake ready right here. But before I dig into this cake, how about liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing the video? It really helps us to get the word out and to share our recipes. So if you could do that, also ring that bell because you'll get notified whenever a new recipe drops on YouTube. Okay, so let's go. Look at that. Oh my God. I'm going to dig in. I didn't light my candle. I'll light it later. I'm going to just dig in right now and get a piece of this right here off the corner. Look at that. Yum. All right. I just love those sprinkles. They're so colorful and festive. But let's take a bite, shall we? Mmm. Mmm. Give me a minute. That was a pretty big mouthful. The cake is so moist and chocolatey, and that whipped chocolate ganache is to die for. It's not American buttercream, so it's not grainy at all. It's very smooth. And I think this is the perfect birthday or celebration cake, don't you? Okay, well, as usual, I'm going to keep on eating. See you next time here on the Mountaintop Kitchen. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Mmm. A little smaller bite. Yum. Mm. Mm-hmm. Milk is always great with cake. See you next time.